Hello everyone, my name is Vipra Joshi and I am an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management in Electrical Engineering Department. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on subject of basic electrical engineering. In this video, I will be explaining voltmeter, wattmeter and energy meter. This is unit 4th topic of second semester in first year engineering. What is voltmeter? A voltmeter is an instrument used for measuring the electrical potential difference between the 2 points in an electrical circuit. It means voltmeter an instrument for measuring the voltage. It is used for measuring electrical potential difference. We can say V2 minus V1. Okay, so it is used for measuring electrical potential difference between the 2 points in an electrical circuit. And here we have two voltmeter. First is analog voltmeter and second is digital voltmeter. Okay, so in analog voltmeter, a pointer move across a scale in which the voltage is proportional to the pointer movement. Okay, and we can say the movement of the scale is proportional to the voltage, and the meter whose output is obtained by the deflection of the pointer on the calibrated scale is called the analog voltmeter. And digital voltmeter given a numerical display of the voltage by use of analog to digital converter, and voltmeter connected to the parallel in the circuit. We want to measure voltage. Parallel in the circuit in which we want to measure the voltage. And digital voltmeter which gives a digital output reading of the measured value. Here the reading is displayed on the LED or LCD display panel. Here we can see that these are the analog voltmeter, this is analog voltmeter and this is digital voltmeter. Here a pointer move on the scale, calibrated scale, which supply we are giving here. This is denoted by the pointer, and this is the voltage meter, digital multimeter. Here it is denoted the value of the output, and these are the probes, one for positive terminal and one for negative terminal. Now, working principle of voltmeter is based on the Ohm's law. Here we know the V is equal to I into R, so we can say the potential difference equal to the I current and R resistance. Okay, so current unit is ampere and resistance in ohms. So we can say the unit of the voltmeter is volts and ampere ohm. The voltmeter indicate polarity by direction by needle momentum with the analog instrument. And for digital instrument, polarity is indicated by the sign of the numerical value. It means in analog instrument we can observe polarity by observing the direction of the needle, and in the digital we can observe the polarity by plus and minus sign on the numerical value. When measuring a voltage difference, there are always two leads coming from the instrument that will have to be connected to the 2 points in your circuit across which the voltage appear. Okay, here we can see that we have here two probes. So these are connected across which circuit at which we measured the voltage. Okay, so voltage might be any of the following across the element embedded in the circuit, and the output of the transducer measuring some physical variable like temperature, etc. Now next is wattmeter. It measuring the electrical power. Wattmeter measuring the electrical power. These are three type: electrical dynamometer, wattmeter. It is used for both AC and DC power. And induction type wattmeter, it is used for AC supply only, AC power only. And electrostatic type wattmeter, it is used for a small amount of AC power and low power factor. So if we see the construction of the single phase electrodynamometer, here we can see that this instrument consists of two fixed coil and one movable coil, and it has a pointer and the calibrated scale. Okay, so here the fixed coil are divided into the two part. These fixed coil connected in series with the load. Okay, so fixed coil is also called the current coil. And we can say here this is the movable coil. This coil is made up of fine wire and it has many number of turns. It connected across the supply voltage. It is also called the pressure coil. So here the fixed coil is called the current coil and movable coil is called the pressure coil. And also called the movable coil, pressure coil and voltage coil. Okay, so a high resistance is connected in the series with the movable coil. We can see here this is the high resistance. Okay, so this connected in series with the moving coil. In it limit the current in the moving coil. This coil mounted on the shaft and the movable coil rotate inside the fixed coil, and a pointer is attached to the movable coil. It rotate over the scale. If movable coil start rotating, then pointer is also rotate and it rotate over the scale. So the principle of a electrodynamometer wattmeter is used for the measurement of AC and DC as well as DC power. Okay, so it work on the dynamometer principle. It means mechanical force exists between the two current coil conductor and current carrying conductor or current coils. Okay, so if we see the working of the dynamometer wattmeter, here we can see in figure. Okay, when the voltage is applied to this given circuit, a line current is passes through the fixed coil. It is shown by I1. Okay, so line current is passes through the fixed coil and it produces a current. And when the supply is given to the movable coil, then due to effect of these two coils are produced magnetic field. So due to effect of these magnetic field, interaction of this magnetic field, a deflecting torque is produced on the movable coil. Hence the movable coil rotate along the pointer, and the deflection on the pointer shows the reading on the measuring scale. When movable coil start to rotate due to the interaction of the magnetic field between the fixed coil and movable coil, a deflecting forces act on the movable coil and it start to rotate. So a pointer is attached to the movable coil, so pointer also start to rotate and is shown the reading on the this meter scale. So here the magnetic field produced by the fixed coil is proportional to the load current, and the magnetic field produced by the moving coil is proportional to the voltage. By this we can get power by multiplying both value V into I. So here we can see that the deflecting torque value, here the deflecting torque is proportional to the power supplied to the load. How much power we supplied to the load, it is proportional to the deflection. So here for the AC supply the power is V into I into cos phi, and for the DC supply the power is V into I1. Now some advantage of the wattmeter is they can used for the measurement of AC as well as DC, and they have uniform scale, and by careful design high accuracy can be obtained, and it is free from hysteresis loss and low power consumption here, and it is light in the weight. So this is the diagram of the measurement of three-phase power by the 2 wattmeter method. Here you can see that 2 wattmeter are used here in this method, and the current coil of the first wattmeter is connected with the R phase, and the current coil of the second wattmeter is connected with the Y phase, and the voltage coil of first wattmeter is connected between the R phase and B phase, and the voltage coil of the second wattmeter connected between the Y phase and B phase. Okay, then here we use the 2 wattmeter, and IR, IY and IB denoted the line current, and I1, I3, I2 are the phase current. Here Z1, Z2, Z3 are the phase impedance. So this is the best way for measuring power of the three-phase circuit, whether the circuit is the star connected or delta connected, by using two single phase wattmeter, which is called the 2 wattmeter method. Measurement of the three phase power. Okay, so it can be shown that when 2 wattmeter are connected in this way, the algebraic sum of 2 wattmeter reading given the power, it gives the power dissipate in the three phase circuit. If we are doing the algebraic sum of 2 wattmeters power, okay, then we take here W1 for the power of the first circuit and W2 power of the second wattmeter. Okay, so here we are doing the algebraic sum of the power, so it is W equal to W1 plus W2, and it gives the three phase power, which formula is root 3 VLIL into cos phi. So here the value of W1, if we take the lagging power factor, the value of W1 is VLIL cos 30 minus phi, and W2 is VLIL cos 30 minus phi. So if we are adding these value W1 and W2, it gives the value of root 3 VLIL cos phi, and if we subtract this value VL minus W1 minus W2, it is gives the value VLIL sin phi. So now taking the ratio of the equation 1 and 2, it is VLIL sin phi upon root 3 VLIL cos phi. Okay, because here W1 plus W2 equal to root 3 VLIL cos phi. So here the term will become tan phi upon root 3, and here the phi is tan inverse root 3 W minus W2 upon W1 plus W2, and cos phi denoted the power factor, and here if we calculate the power factor, we replace tan inverse root 3 W1, we replace the phi by substituting the value tan inverse root 3 W1 minus W2 upon W1 plus W2. This is our power factor. Energy meter. They are used for the measurement of energy. So we know energy is measured by the measuring of power over a period of time. It means over a period of time how much power we consumed is called the energy. The time of the unit of the energy is watt and watt hour meter. So energy is amount of power consumed over a period of time. Okay, and here 1 kilowatt hour means 1 unit of energy. If time in hour, then the unit of energy meter is 1 kilowatt hour. So it is used in every place like homes, industries. Okay, so this is the diagram of the induction type of energy meter. Here we can see that here we have in the induction type of wattmeter, it consists of two electromagnet. One is series magnet and second is shunt magnet. So in between these two magnet, here we have a disc, which is a aluminium disc. Okay, so aluminium disc is rotating in the magnetic field, and the speed of rotation is proportional to the power, how much power we supplied here, which is consumed by the appliance. So here in series magnet there are few turns of thick wire, and in shunt magnet we have a many turns of wire. Here we can see also here a brake magnet. So it is going to apply it of force. which is opposite to the rotation of the aluminum disc. So it produces a force which is opposite to the momentum of the aluminum disc, because when no power is applied to the circuit, the disc should be not rotating. So this brake magnet is going to bring this disc back to its normal position, because at first time this is the aluminum disc start rotating. So when the power is not supplied, there is some error, so it come back uh, to brings the disc back to the normal position. And when current is flowing in the pressure coil and current coil, then there will be a magnetic field due to these magnet. So due to the magnetic field, an EMF is generated, and this EMF is going to rotate the aluminium disc, and this aluminium disc connected to the pointer. Okay, so connected to the pointer, and it's give the reading. When it is start rotating, the pointer is also start rotating, and pointer gives the reading on the aluminum disc. So the momentum of the disc is proportional to the power. Here we can see that when the induction watt hour meter is connected in the circuit to measured energy, the shunt magnet carries current which is proportional to the supply voltage, and the series magnet carries current which is proportional to the load current. So here we can see that, and we can say that the driving torque is proportional to the phi v into phi c into sine theta. Here phi v means proportional to the voltage, so here we can replace it v, and we can replace phi c by I. So here the equation become v into I into sine 90 minus phi, and we can denote it by cos phi, and this is our power. So we can say that driving torque is proportional to the power which we applied. Okay, so the braking torque is due to the eddy current induced in the aluminum disc. Since the magnitude of the eddy current is proportional to the disc speed, and the braking torque will also be proportional to the disc speed, it is n. So we can say here the number of revolution is proportional to the energy and power which we supplied. So here we can write that n equal to k into energy. Here k is the meter constant of the energy meter. So k equal to n upon energy, and n is the number of revolution upon energy unit is kilowatt hour. So hence the number of revolution made by the disk for 1 kilowatt hour of energy consumption is called the meter constant. This is the energy meter. Thank you.